Hmm. Today we will talk about absorber which are being used as sensors. The topic is inspired from real life examples, human senses. There are 5 types of senses: to see, to hear, to touch, to taste and smell. These 5 types of senses are being used to gather different informations. So we try to develop a sensor which will be used for biomedical applications, as well as to develop self-sustainable sensors using RF energy harvesting. Now, if we recall our sense of seeing, we have a retina. The retina has embedded rods and cones. These rods and cones are absorbers at visible frequency. The size of a rod is 2.5 micrometer and size of cone is 3 micrometer. The wavelength corresponding to 300 to 700 terahertz. Now, how we are able to see? The photons get reflected from our surrounding. They fall on human eye retina, and retina has in the periphery a gray type of material, rod cells. These rod cells are built up with 10 layer of pigment cells. So when a photon falls into the rod cell, the photon gets converted into action potential by passing through these 10 layers. As the photon is observed and the photon is absorbed and it converts into action potential. Then there are more than 100 million of rod cells. The rod cells wavelength correspond to gray vision. Similarly, in center of the eye, we have cone cells. These cone cells are again built up with 10 layer of pigment material. They have property to absorb photons. The photon is absorbed by a particular RBG color wavelength through these cones, and these cones will convert these photons into action potential. Then the somewhere 600 million cone cells are there, and more than 100 million rod cells are there. The action potentials travel through optical nerves, and now these action potential which reach to brain in terms of neurons. So a matrix of neuron is being formed, and that we see as image. So this is image sensor. We try to build up similar type of absorber at microwave frequency, which will behave in similar way, but we will talk about microwave technology, how these microwave absorbers are built, what is the basic function of these microwave absorbers, and these have practical applications for biomedical as well as energy harvesting. When I say biomedical, we have hazardous, RF hazardous environment, because we receive different RF frequencies from satellite, from TV, from the Wi-Fi, and there are multiple frequencies are radiating into environment, which may be dangerous to human being, because as per European regulations, if the RF power falls on our body more than 1.6 watt per kg at the tissue, then it will, because of ionization, it will have harmful effect on our body. So we try to minimize this RF radiation hazard using absorber curtains. We can have absorber films developed so that our body is not exposed to these radiations. as well as if there is a Wi-Fi working at 2.4 gigahertz in our home, or nowadays at 5.8 gigahertz in our home, we can charge our appliances such as mobile, iPad, laptop without connecting to them any power source. How we are going to do that, we will see when we design RF absorber circuits. The Wi-Fi signal will be captured similar to our retina function, and it will convert into chargeable voltage. So we need not to plug our mobile or our iPad into power source. So let us talk how we can develop these absorbers. Now there is a lab example of these RF hazards. In Bangalore, there is a place known as Chimney Hill. The radar was placed at Chimney Hill, and there is a village near to that radar. So radar output is in mega or kilowatt, maybe 100 kilowatt. So these residential people, those who were residing near to the radar, they objected. They said that this radar is harmful to our life, and the Air Force was rather insisted. They shifted this radar to some other location because these people raised questions that this radar RF is hazardous to the human being. Now, how